Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. And as you can tell by the title of my video, frustration is setting in. So I figured, you know what, since I'm frustrated, I might as well go ahead and go do a video. If you jump on here live on this Sunday afternoon, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Down below, make sure you give the video a like, a thumbs up, and if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. But my frustration is setting in because I've sat here all this time talking about Daytona, wanting to watch Daytona, being excited about seeing Daytona. And now Daytona starts, and they run 10 laps, and it starts raining. Last year's race got moved to Monday because of rain. And in Florida, it rains all the time, and you just never know. And it looked like for 3 weeks we were going to have perfect weather. And then all of a sudden, Friday, they moved the start time up 1 hour, trying to get at least half the race in before the rains come in. Hey there, Marcus. Glad you're here, because if you get halfway and it starts raining, you can call it a race. And move it up 1 hour, and they get 10 laps in. And now I've been waiting for over an hour, and they're still under a rain delay. So let's talk some NXT Vengeance Day, which was last night. I was going to do a video last night about it, but I wanted to give people more time to watch it. Since not everybody watches it live, you can get on Peacock, later on that night, the next day, whatever, and watch it. But if you have not seen it, go back and watch it. As is all the NXT premium live events. It was great. We also saw the debut of a brand new faction. Stephanie Vaquer, or as some say, Vaquer, ever how you want to say it. She beat Fallon Henley to become the new NXT Women's North American champion. Nathan Frazer and Axiom beat Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Onamura to retain the NXT Tag Team Championships. And right after this match is when we initially saw the debut of this brand new faction, but we'll see them again coming up later on in the night. So I'll talk about the rest of the show, and then I'll go back and talk about the brand new faction. But we originally saw them after the Tag Team Championship match. Eddie Thorpe beat Trick Williams in a strap match. Hey there, System. Glad to have you here. Hey there, Thanos. Glad to have you here. Hey, Kevron. Glad you're here. And we saw Ethan Page beat Javon Evans in a one-on-one match. Oba Femi beat Austin Theory and Grayson Waller to retain the NXT Championship. And then in the main event, we saw Julia beat Bayley, Cora Jade, and Roxanne Perez to retain the NXT Women's Championship. Hey there, Victor. Glad to have you here. But the second time we saw this new faction was after Oba Femi's match. So we saw them twice last night, after the Tag Team Championship match and after Oba Femi's match. Now, they have not given the faction a name, or at least said their name on the broadcast yet. Hey there, I'm going to assume your name is Fia. If it's not, I apologize. But we do know the 4 individuals' names. A couple of them were in the Performance Center, just not on TV yet. And a couple of them have been seen on TV and just not had their name said yet. Hey there, Yo Blocks. Glad you're here. But the 4 individuals' names are Dion Lennox, Saquon Sugars, Osiris Griffin, and Cutler James. Hey there, Burrito Master. Glad you're here. Now, the funny thing about Osiris Griffin is that name was originally copyrighted by WWE to give to Ricky Starks. They were going to change Ricky Starks' name to Osiris Griffin. Now, obviously, they've changed their minds on that because we have Osiris Griffin, who is not Ricky Starks, as part of this new faction. And that's why, so far, since Ricky Starks has been on TV, they have not said his name, because he was not going to be Ricky Starks, but the name he was going to get has been given to somebody else. So we have to wait and see now if Ricky Starks gets another name or if he just goes back to being Ricky Starks. But these four individuals, Dion Lennox, Saquon Sugars, Osiris Griffin, and Cutler James, the vibe was the Retribution vibe. And if you have been watching for a while, you remember Retribution. It hasn't been that long ago. They were on TV. And Retribution ended up being a complete, total failure, which is why they done away with it. But I believe the reason why it was a complete, total failure was because I think they rushed it and didn't have no true direction they were going to go with the group. And then when it started, they didn't know what to do with them. So it was a flop. If you remember, when they first started Retribution, the first time you saw them on TV, there was like 12 of them. And then it was down to like 8. And then by the time it started, there was down to like 5. And then Mia Yim was part of it. And she all of a sudden decided in the middle of it, hey, I don't want to do it no more. So she walks away. So you're like 4. And then they come out, and all of a sudden, for some unknown reason, they're no longer going to be on SmackDown, just going to be on Raw. And it was a failure. You can't start something and not have, no direction with it. And that's kind of what happened with Retribution. So hopefully this new group of Dion Lennox, Saquon Sugars, Osiris Griffin, and Cutler James, they won't rush it. They'll actually have a direction they're going to go with it. And the people like, I guess that's Cytonic and a couple others that have made smart comments, and you realize I don't respond to them because I'm not on here to be stupid. I'm not on here to respond to stupid comments. I'm not on here to be childish. I'm on here to actually talk sports and entertainment like a logical person. So if you're Cytonic or anybody else and all you're doing is getting on here and making dumb comments, there's no point in being on here, because I'm not going to acknowledge your comment ever. I never do. I'm not 12. This ain't middle school. I ain't got time for that. But if you're on here to be logical, feel free to leave comments at any time, and I will respond to a logical person at any time. But I wanted to give some people who may not watch these premium live events time to watch them, especially now that you're on Saturdays. I know a lot of people are busy on Saturdays, and you don't get home until, late at night. So you might go back and watch it late at night or the next morning. So I try not to come on here too often right after they're over with and talk about them and spoil them for the people that have not seen them. But hopefully, since it's almost 24 hours later, everybody that wanted to watch it has already watched it. But if not, go back and watch it, because Shawn Michaels continues to do an amazing job on NXT. Now, I don't know how Shawn Michaels does such a good job, because he's got one eye going this way and he's got one eye going that way. So I'm not sure who he's looking at when, but he's doing a great job of running NXT. Any thoughts on this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. My first job was posing like a mannequin in a clothing store window. I held that position for a long time. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.